Good evening. It's Wednesday, December 16, 2020 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim and this is SunStar Tonight. The family of Cebu Governor Marlon Garcia has filed criminal charges against two doctors over the death of Barili Mayor Marlon Garcia. Chari Coronel reports.
The Garcia family filed criminal charges against Dr. Elfida Hernandez and Dr. Yvonne Bitina Montejo for alleged medical negligence. The case filed before the Cebu City Prosecutor's Office on Tuesday stemmed from the death of Barili Mayor Marlon Garcia on September 6, 2020. The charge was based on the findings of a certain Dr. Raddy Diola, whom the Garcias identified as a licensed physician and professor of medicine and infectious diseases and chairman of the Department of Medicine of Loyola University's Trich School of Medicine in Chicago, USA. According to the complaint, Diora's findings showed the lack of observance of standard care and procedure, which led to the death of the mayor. The doctors allegedly also employed highly questionable and unnecessary laboratory tests and treatments and exaggerated or unsupported laboratory results. Hernandez and Montejo have yet to issue a statement. Meanwhile, the Garcia family is awaiting the final report of their medical experts looking into the death of former Dumanhog Mayor Nelson Garcia, who died 5 days before Marlon. In a statement today, Chonghua Hospital said there were no irregularities nor shortcomings that led to the deaths of the two brothers Marlon and Nelson while under the hospital's care. The Garcia family plans to seek damages against Chonghua Hospital for the deaths of Marlon and Nelson, as well as criminal charges for estafa through falsification of documents resulting to alleged fraudulent claims of reimbursement from PhilHealth on the deaths of the Garcia brothers. The family claimed the hospital made it appear that the two brothers were each attended to by no less than 15 physicians, but such was not supported in the medical and clinical records of both patients. The hospital said it will release an official statement after processing and examining all the allegations. The Garcias were billed 5.2 million pesos for Marlon and 3.8 million pesos for Nelson's hospitalization. Chari Coronel, SunStar Tonight.
Checkpoints will be set up on roads leading to churches in Cebu City. This is to screen churchgoers after some churches in the city drew thick crowds on the first day of the Misa de Gallo. Kenneth Torres reports.
The Cebu City government will implement additional policies in holding of Misa de Gallo. This after some churches in Cebu City ended up crowded on the first day of Misa de Gallo Wednesday despite constant reminders from Labella for people to avoid crowded places. Mayor Edgardo Labella said checkpoints will be installed on roads leading to the churches. Authorities will also strictly enforce Labella's directive prohibiting those under 15 years old and above 65 years old from going inside churches. The no mask, no face shield, no mask policy will be strictly enforced. Labella is calling upon Cebuanos to follow all health and safety measures, especially now that the city has temporarily suspended the use of quarantine passes. He urged churchgoers to immediately return to their homes after the Misa de Gallo. The mayor remained firm in his decision not to allow the dawn masses in Barangay James and other venues outside the church. Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
SunStar Tonight will be right back after this short break.
Distance learning has been a challenge for both parents and students. So the Cebu City government has decided to put up its own radio program to help public elementary school students with their studies. Mayor Edgardo Labella said the Cebu City Schools Division and the local school board have coordinated to put up a daily 8-hour radio program. The program will run from Monday to Saturday on local FM radio station Home Radio. The radio program, called Education Laboratory or EdLab, will start airing lessons for grades 1 to 6 on January 4, 2021. Labella said he sees broadcast radio as an effective medium in communicating lessons to the city's public school students because of its wide reach. It also does not need the use of the internet to operate.
On January 4, the Cebu City government hopes to start a radio program to help public elementary school students in the city with their studies amid the distance learning environment. And here to tell us more about it is the Cebu City Local School Board Chairman, Ronald Raddy Diola. Sir, this Ed Lab or Education Laboratory radio program that you intend for January, it is intended for all public elementary school students in the city.
No, first of all, I'd like to say good evening to your televiewers. Let me correct some things first. It is going to be launched on January 11 next year. And then the name of the program is Education Lab on Radio. Education Lab, because it's a laboratory. We're testing it. It's the first of its kind. So we're still testing the waters, no? So it's like a laboratory. So yeah, this would for now it's for all elementary school students, grades 1 to 6, about 130,000 students, if I'm not mistaken.
So 48 teachers have been tapped to handle the program, which will run for 8 hours, 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. So
That's right.
48 teachers are for the whole program. So does that mean if there are 6 grade levels, there will be 8 teachers per grade level and each teacher will teach one subject?
That's right. That's right. 8 teachers per grade level, so that's 48 all in all. And yeah, and then for each week, the module, which we were trying it out, no, because they said that it might one module will take about 1 week to teach, so that's about an hour per day, no. But when we tested it, we actually had a test, no, a test run. We asked the teachers um, to record their material, and we heard it, we looked at it, and apparently we can actually do a 1 week. The what was supposed to be 1 week, we can do that in an hour's time. So that would be for Monday. It's going to be grades 1 and 2. Tuesday, grades 1 and 2. Wednesday, it's going to be grades 3 and 4, and also Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday, that will be for grades 5 and 6.
Regarding the radio program, this is intended to be a supplement to the modules. So
Right.
are students allowed to listen to the radio program while answering their modules?
Well, you're right. No, it's meant to help the student navigate the module. Just imagine right now, without the radio, the students are left to their own devices. Good if their parents are there to help them, but most of the parents are out working, and some parents probably would have difficulty teaching their children. So it's very difficult for let's say grade 1, 2, or 3 to go through their module, and they have a lot of reading materials to do, no? So it's very difficult. And the radio essentially is there to help the students navigate through these modules. So now they could answer while listening to the teacher, or they can just listen, take notes, and then after that they do their activity. So in the module, most of the parts of the module are the activities. So it's there to supplement, to help them. It's there to put a virtual teacher right in their bedrooms or wherever they are. So it's going to help them navigate the modules.
Sir, since this is radio, so this is not going to be interactive. The students cannot ask questions.
Yes, they cannot. But of course, we try also to put up. We will try to put up an FB um, for Facebook, no, where they can interact. But that's only good for those who have internet connectivity, if they have the gadgets, no. Actually, that's the reason why we decided to go radio, because about 80% or even more of the students don't have these gadgets, and if they do, the problem is the connectivity. So it's better than none at all, no, because it will help them navigate their modules. Now, it will also help the parents, no, or the guardians who are there listening with the child, so that when they do their activity, then the guardian or the parent can will already know, no, if there are questions, at least they would know what to teach a child or how to help the child navigate their modules.
Sir, is there a radio signal in all the barangays in the city, including the mountain barangays?
Yes, actually, what we're doing now is we're trying to test already. We've asked some people in all the barangays to check on the radio station, no? And then we're going to test it, because most of the radio stations right now, they're not, their signals are not in full capacity. For very obvious reasons, because if you do that, you do full capacity, then that means more operating expense on the part of the radio station. So what we will do is we've asked some people in the different barangays to check, and then the radio station, what they would do is they would up the signal slowly, so that we would know the optimum signal that would reach the farthest barangay or the farthest school. So again, this is so much better than having internet. As for sure, us here in the cities, we're even having difficulty connecting. We're even having difficulty in the stability of the signal. But the radio is there, no? And as I've said, the radio is ubiquitous. You find it everywhere. Even our smartphones, they have radios already. So that's what we're doing right now. We're testing again. We're testing everything so that by January 11, we would know the most optimum signal to reach the farthest barangay.
Sir, has it been determined that even the poorest household can afford a radio?
Well, yeah, it's been determined that the radio is actually uh, a companion, no, in these households, especially in the most remote areas, because it's the only thing that gives them the news, gives them drama, So it's a constant companion, no. So compared to a smartphone, I think most households would have this radio, and it's more affordable also.
Sir, you have picked the FM station Home Radio to be the station that will air the radio program. Why did you pick this station? Is it a government station?
Now, let me correct you on that. No, we have not chosen any radio station yet. No, it has to go through the process. Okay, so it was just the home radio was the first one who acted on a request, and but it has to go through the process. Of course, the radio station that we would like to have would be a station that would give us at least 8 hours of continuous airtime. And so we will have to go through the process of procuring this service.
And what is the budget you have allotted for paying the radio station to broadcast the 6 days a week?
Well, that's another advantage of using radio compared to gadgets. Can you imagine if you have to provide gadgets to the students who don't have them? The city will have to pay billions of pesos just to purchase that. Second, of course, the connectivity. Even if you talk about 100 or 200 pesos per month per student for connectivity, you're talking about 26 million a month, or probably close to 300 million in 1 year just for connectivity, which is not even stable. But for the radio, our budget for radio, 8 hours of continuous airtime, Mondays through Saturdays, it would only cost the city about less than 10 million pesos, probably 8 million.
That's for a month?
No, that's for the entire year.
Oh, oh, the entire school year.
Yep, yep. So it's really the most practical, the most effective medium to help our children navigate through their modules. Very, very practical.
Okay, sir, but you're talking about the rest of the school year because the first grading period has already passed.
Yeah, I'm talking about, if we use the radio for 10 months, because normally a school year consists of 10 months. So if it's continuous 10 months of usage, it's about 8 million pesos for the airtime, the cost.
Okay, sir, this school year started, I think, on October 5, and it's been more than 2 months. What are the problems you encountered with the distance learning, and how do you intend to address them in the next
Yeah.
school year, January?
Okay.
In the next
Okay. It's very obvious, the problem. Of course, the printing is there, although we have already addressed the printing. In fact, we have already printed for the grades 2 and 3. The local school board was, tasked to print the modules for grades 2 and 3. We have these modules already. It's ready for the second quarter, all the way to the fourth quarter. Now, the problem really is, as I've said, asking, our children are having difficulties going through their modules. Can you imagine, for a grade 2 student, how many pages we have to print just for grade 2, grades 2 and 3? We have to print about 17 million pages. And if you prorate that one, that's about 6,000 pages per student. How can you expect this child to go through 6,000 pages of a module? No, so it's very difficult. In fact, it might even traumatize a child. No? When he hears about going to school or online, it might traumatize him because no one's there to guide them, to lead them. And that's why we thought that if we have this radio, then it would help the child navigate through their modules. And I actually listened to the materials of our teachers, and the quality of their pre-recorded teaching is actually beyond my expectation. It was very, very good. The quality is really good, and in fact, I keep telling the teachers, when you do that, when you teach over the radio, the advantage of actually having audio instead of audio visual is that you leave this child to his imagination. And imagination is a very important component in learning. In fact, that's what Albert Einstein said, between knowledge and imagination is more important. Because knowledge are things that you know already, but imagination are things you still have to grasp. So, and it's left to imagination, to your creativity. And that's why I was very impressed by what the teachers did, by their materials. And I think it will be very effective. I think the children would love, at least compared to what they're doing now, where, again, as I've said, they're left to their own devices. It's very effective.
Sir, President Duterte has allowed limited face-to-face classes in low-risk areas in the country. Is Cebu City going to be part of the pilot run, which will take place in January?
I really don't know about that, but I had a brief chat with the mayor this morning, and of course, the mayor said, if we do that, it might expose the children to so much risk. So that's the position of our mayor. as far as having face-to-face, training or education.
Okay, and with that, we'd like to thank Cebu City Local School Board Chairman Ronald Raddy Diola. Thank you, sir, for joining us at SunStar tonight.
Thank you very much.
And to give us some good vibes tonight, here's Tiffany Neri.
Thank you, Cherry. Hey there, I'm Tiffany, here to bring you a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Simbang Gabi season has started and the countdown to Christmas Eve is ticking. We can't help but feel how different this year's Yuletide is going to be compared to others. Although the carefree days of Simbang Gabi and lining up to reward yourself with bibingka and budbud may seem like they're long gone, let's continue to pray, continue to hope, and continue to practice the protocols so we can celebrate the season the way we used to. What do you miss this holiday season? Comment below. This is Tiffany Neri for SunStar Tonight. Back to you, Cherry.
It's 9 days to go before Christmas. To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Follow us on our YouTube channel and official social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Cherry Ann Lim, and this has been SunStar Tonight. See you again tomorrow. Good night.